What's going on, Allegheny Trail family? Coming to you with a December event here tonight. We're going to do a recap of a fabulous year. Justin, tell me what's going on with you, man. We had a big week.
Oh, yeah. It's been good. How's everything going?
Crazy good. We did the drawing for the raffle from all the items at the 50th. We'll be revealing that on the website. Just exciting, meetings and growth and planning. And so it's a lot of good stuff going on, that's for sure. Even though it's here up in Pocahontas County where I am right now, we're supposed to have a winter storm, 6 to 9 inches, 50-mile-an-hour winds. Hopefully nobody's on the trail right now suffering. I've got a fire going right now just to kind of keep things rolling. But
yeah, fire, it's warm.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Obviously, Justin, we got you here as a co-host. I'm a co-host. We would not be here today without y'all if it wasn't for Julie Gayheart. So I want to bring Julie in real quick as the producer. We love her. I just want to acknowledge her for all her help for 12 episodes this year. It's been a blast. We're keeping you in the stitches over there laughing with some of our episodes, Julie.
Hey, it's good to be back once again in December. It's always good to see you, Nicolle and Justin. And I have a pretty good time editing the audio. I make you guys sound so professional.
We love you for that.
No, it's been a great time. All seriousness aside, I truly have enjoyed producing the show, getting you guys together, formulating the screens that everybody sees out on YouTube. Very consistent this year. We had one episode a month. And if you guys will remember, the show did launch last December. We did an episode over on my show, Jester Section Hiker, and kind of launched the podcast there. And then I kind of threw you all to the wolves and said, hey, you guys are going to do this. You're up on the screen. Have at it. So it's been a great year. I have zero complaints. I'm truly appreciative to everyone that has come over to the Julie Gayheart YouTube channel and has subscribed to the channel because of the Allegheny Trail podcast and all the episodes. And just a reminder, you can hear all episodes on your favorite podcast app. You can listen in the car. You can listen while you're working out. Over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Overcast, Amazon Music, all the things, any one of them you can think of, iHeartRadio. You guys are even on iHeartRadio. So with that being said, I truly appreciate it. I'll be running the chat this evening and swapping out some screens as you guys chat. So I'm going to leave y'all to it.
Thanks, Julie. Appreciate you. And just as a reminder, y'all can listen while you're hiking on the Allegheny Trail, too. Y'all can listen while you're hiking on your other trail and getting ready to come hike our trail. Let's not forget that part. We're going to have a fun night tonight. We're going to be talking about the recap of the year. We've got some, for those of you listening in the car, audio, be sure to come back and check it out on YouTube. We got some great video shots here, some pictures throughout the year. And so I think what we'll do now is we'll kind of kick it off, Justin. We'll go back and forth here about some of our things that Julie's going to pop up with the pictures, but I think what we're going to do first is maybe kick it off where you actually called me and said, hey, we're going to do this podcast thing. You want to do this? By the way, we're going to do it tomorrow. Right there about that time, you were also planning for your thru hike. Let's just do a short recap on your thru hike. And we got a couple pictures of Justin. Oh, the logos. Yeah. Sorry, the logos. You're right. So we got new logos this year. We got a Wavista West Virginia Scenic Trail Association new logo, and we got the Allegheny Trail new logo. So loving those. Fantastic job there with Zane Higgins. Helped so much, was very attentive. We got the 50th logo for that too. And then we moved right into Justin kind of, like I said, doing the backpacking, through hiking in winter. Crazy, man. This was that middle picture, Justin, I took of you. You were right before the storm.
Yeah, that was a fun one there. There was, multiple feet of snow in Pocahontas County. So that was rough. I mean, I'm glad I had a base camp out of Durban at your house there. Otherwise, there ain't no way I could have done that with 0-degree temps, 3 to 4 feet of snow with the snow drift up to 5 feet in some areas right there behind your house there. That was rough. I'll definitely not forget that anytime soon. So
I'll interrupt you for a second, but if for those of you watching on YouTube, you can see my man has sneakers. Well, not sneakers, but you know what I mean, trail runners on, right? So he comes to the cabin and we're like, you gotta be kidding, right? You're gonna hike in that? What? I'll never forget you coming in after I picked you up and putting those things over here behind the fire right here and watching them just drip as we warmed you up by the fire.
I remember that. That'd be a good picture. Yeah. The good thing is, I don't rely on the shoes to keep me warm. I have waterproof thermal socks, which they make a big difference. So that's not just plain wool socks or anything like that. Cause I would have been hypothermic or frostbite something at that point. So I've just learned that anything waterproof going on days on end is just going to stay wet once it gets wet. So I just embraced the wet shoes and had waterproof thermal socks to help keep my feet warm. That really did turn out.
That's an awesome tip. Why don't you talk a little bit more about that? Where'd you get those? Maybe a company?
I've got a couple that I've used. My first set I tried was called Sealskins, and they have different warming layers. I had the mids on, and I did get a little cold with that, but even then, they were awesome. But I've also tried a Z-Pax pair of waterproof socks. They're not thermal, so they wouldn't have worked out good on the hike here. But the Sealskins mid-layer socks were awesome, and they really did keep me dry and really warm. Without those, I definitely wouldn't have been. I would have not been in good shape.
I know the one morning I dropped you off. For those of you that, and I know several listeners are very in tune with this, but for those of you that don't know, what it looks like to support a hiker is Justin would come in the house. My husband had a beautiful meal going for him. Next thing you know, it's like, all right, good night. Oh, just wait 1 minute before you leave, honey. What time are we getting up in the morning? Oh, I don't know. What do you think? 4:30? It's still going to be dark. You know that. Yeah, I know. Okay. Whatever you say. Let's go. Here we go.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of night hiking in the morning.
We drop him off. It's like 6-7 degrees. And the guy gets out, puts his headlamp on. He's like, all right, I'll in reach you. We'll let you know what time. Pick me up maybe like, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So for those of you who understand what it's like to be a support, I am with you, and I have the utmost respect for your hikers, just like I do Justin. Pretty powerful stuff. And so next up, that was in January, February, that type of thing. We kind of rolled into a little bit more of some bad weather. We had some pretty bad storms in there. And I mean throughout the trail. West Virginia, it was dry, and then all of a sudden we get all that snow, and then we had a thaw, back and forth. But let's talk for a minute about some of your far out updates you were able to do during that. So future hikers, rest assured, 2024 was a big day. We had the far out updates, and we'll get to some more of that too. And Julia, I appreciate you. Excellent picture right here. So talk to us about some of the far out updates you did, Justin.
Yeah, throughout my whole hike, my main goal was to check every waypoint along the trail, update descriptions, photos, and create new waypoints along the way. So even if it was cold and I had to take my glove off just to key in an extra description, that was a challenging moment. She was there. It's hard to stop walking when it's that cold, but it was definitely, I think maybe 120 new waypoints that I'd made and countless edits to waypoints and the photos. So some of them aren't live yet, but a lot of them are, and it's still a lot more improvement to go on far out, but it's made a good difference on hikers throughout this year.
And then, we had Alice from Far Out Bodner on our podcast here earlier in the year. She talked about that new AI that was launched regarding the water aspect. And I know that was a big thing that happened throughout the year. We had a lot of people commenting and being a part of that on your through hike there. We talked about that. And I also know, I won't spoil anything here, but fast forwarding through the year, you cut new cutouts, other people cut new cutouts. We got some other new viewpoints on trail. I think we got some updated pictures overall. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of that, but I mean, you may want to speak to that.
We got approval to clear out certain overlooks, like a few out there behind Green Bank, which awesome views of the telescopes there. Now it's year round. It's not just winter or fall. You can hike that ridge line any time of the year now and see great views of the telescopes out there. So, I mean, just adding viewpoints there, it gives you something to look forward to after a long climb. Some of these ridge lines aren't easy to get up to, but now it's like you got this nice viewpoint up there now that you can, it's like, I'm going to take a break here. That way you're not taking a break. It's like, man, I done wasted half your part of your day just trying to get up this mountain, but now you got this viewpoint. You can make that your goal just to get yourself a little bit further down the trail to get to this viewpoint and take a break. So
Yeah,
it's
for sure. I love those rewards.
yeah, it's definitely worth the extra push to get an overlook and take a nice break.
So we'll fast forward now, March, planning, outreach. We had some really cool events going on. We had everything with Heidi Nesbitt and Sketching Summits going on behind the scenes and getting her squared away. We had the Allegheny Trail beer launch. And yeah, so those of you that don't know, we got a sale going on right now for a couple more weeks. Well, I guess like 13 days, 10 days, whatever it is, forgive me. But we have a sale, which also includes some of Heidi's artwork. And for those of you, again, listening maybe for the first time or second time, you haven't really quite heard everything about the episode with Heidi. She is an incredible artist, Sketching Summits. Check her out. She's amazing. Does anything from like stickers to postcards to prints to whatever, all kinds of things. But for us, our trail commissioned her to go through and actually do specific locations. And so this is what it looks like at the Waddell shelter. Justin, you want to tell everybody where that is?
Yeah, that's a great place on the ridge line of Shavers Mountain between Durban and Jenningston and Glady area. So there's 2 shelters up on that ridge line, and it's a great scenery up there. That's one of my favorite shelters. It was in pretty rough shape about four years back, and it needed a lot of restoration. And it was just a challenge just to get in there to the shelter. So I'm glad to see a shelter look that well now that it's been restored. It looks almost brand new. There's a nice little, if you see in the photo there's like a little stove right there that it's a nice little place to cook up some food there, and you got a nice fire pit up there in front of it. So yeah, it's a really awesome location on Shavers Mountain.
Yeah, and this picture is actually taken. You can see some stuff hanging that Heidi put together there. I believe there was a rainstorm. They got caught in that the day before, and we're just drying some stuff out. Maybe later that afternoon when they arrived, they were drying some stuff out. So very cool. She did 10 different commission locations, right? So y'all check those out on our website, hikethealleghenytrail.org. But as we fast forward now, so this is like March, April, that time. And what we had coming in through was the beer launch. That was a lot of fun working on. I happen to have something. I saw somebody in the chat, also my man Frank. I've got one right now. It's not open, but it will be by the end of it. And so super special. Not sure y'all can see all the details in this, but this was the artwork on this was commissioned by Miss Rosalie Hazlitt, who is super duper. Check her out, Rosalie Hazlitt, I think maybe .com. Just Google her. Tremendous. We also were able to put on this our 50th celebration logo. We would not have had any of this happen without the support of Matt and Ashley at Big Timber. Fantastic partners, just so blessed to have them. The artwork, again, stands for itself. It's something for those that hike the trail, you can get that print as well on our website. Super duper special stuff. So the flora, the fauna, a little bit of everything that makes it special, along with several stops along the way. So that was a big event at the brewery they hosted for us. I see you, Frank. I hear you, brother. Frank says he bought $60 worth of beer. I love that. Good for you, man. Good stuff. IPA, just very pleased to work with them. Fantastic partners. And they had a band for us. It's a great event. So that we finished that in June. We also had on trail at that time. Heidi was hiking. Want to make a shout out to the 3 sisters. They were on trail hiking, had everybody come to the 50th. I think we had over 100 people at that event. You know, we hit into a couple of our annual events that were happening on trail. We had our W5. We split this year. It was very productive. We had one up in section 2 and we had another one down in section 3 and 4. Do you want to talk about that for a little bit, Justin? What we accomplished down in the South, we'll call it?
So we were based out of Lake Sherwood. We stayed there. We did our workout there, come back every evening, had dinner, great people to hang out with at night. So we got about 16, 20 miles of trail cleared, I believe. I mean, that was a lot of work. We were able to break up into multiple groups. We got Meadow Creek Mountain, part of that cleared down to Lower Run, where it switches into Section 4. And then we've got from Lower Run up to where the Graham Shelter, about 8 miles there cleared. So there was a lot to do. It took a lot of people to make that possible because it's logistically parts of the area there is really difficult to get into. It definitely needed a lot of work from some of these summer storms, and early spring we had some good windstorms. So there was plenty of work that needed done, and we went to where it was needed there.
It was great to see, the collaboration between the Section 3 coordinators, Section 4 coordinators, and everybody team up, be willing to take their time and think about the most strategic approach. I know we had a couple Zoom calls ahead of time, and for those of you there's a good shot. For those of you that are doing trail work, you get it, right? Like a lot of that stuff is not easy to get to. A lot of that, just the shuttle. I mean, this fall, Justin, just shuttling you guys sometimes took 35, 45 minutes to get you in, turn around, I'm going out, and then I'm going to go meet at a whole other location and catch up at the end of the day. So Section 2, the other part of the W5, they got a bunch of work done too. They built a bridge. They cleared a ton of trail. They had a nice turnout help with them too. And I forget exactly how many miles they got done. But the point is, in one work weekend, in June, I think our team, we kicked butt, took names, and just said, hey, come on and hike us, baby. We're ready for you now. Rolled into July. We had a couple more work days in there. The 50th celebration, which was super special. A lot of y'all on the call tonight. A lot of y'all supporting that. That was a lot of fun. I'm forever indebted to the gratitude of people that came out and supported that and just expressed their feelings about our volunteers, about our organization, and, coming to West Virginia and enjoying the mountains here in West Virginia. So if you want to say anything about that, Justin, you're more than welcome to.
The 50th celebration, I'm glad how well it turned out, but behind the scenes, the amount of work that was put into it, from the very beginning of January, we were putting together the website, getting organizers, vendors, bands, all that together. So it took a lot of different people, hundreds of hours to get this work. Nicolle, the amount of hours you put on that, it's insane. I think I calculated it, hours. You're working a 40-hour work week at least for this whole year, just the amount of hours you put in. So, it's taken a lot, but there's a lot of people involved getting this going on. It just turned out awesome. It had a great time. So many people turned out. It was awesome. As though it was worth every bit of the time we put into it.
100%, buddy. 100%. I want to make a shout out too to Tama, the teammates we had planning this stuff, working behind the scenes, taking their passion and pushing it forward. We had Tama out of Elkins who came up with the idea of the gear swap. And it's like, okay, what's the gear swap? Tell me how this is going to work. How should we promote this and market this? And so it came off great. A lot of people contributed to that. And we've got a girl who's getting ready to go on her first overnight hike, backpacking trip from WVU. I won't reveal any names. But she came to that and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go hike. Her first time, okay? She's going to 3 national parks, but she got some of her gear from that beautiful gear swap. So here's a college kid interested in the outdoors, but thanks to Tama and her vision and her commitment to it. So it wasn't just like, hey, you guys should do this. Tama came out at the 50th and helped run the daggone thing. Really cool, really supportive, very powerful. Just a privilege to be around people who are so selfless like that. And Justin, you and Tiffany put in, I don't even know how many 1,000 hours for sure, along with a bunch of other people. So the 50th came, Julie came, we did the premiere of the video, and we rolled into October. October was a full slammed month. Holy moly. Every single weekend. We kicked off, you guys had the trek. There were those of us that went to Alda to represent. We talked about that a little bit on a previous podcast. Then we moved forward. We had this retreat. We had the second annual Allegheny Trail retreat. You want to talk a little bit about that, Justin?
It was a 3-day retreat that we went down to Camp Waldo. That we had probably about 15 people or so, Nicolle?
18.
18? Yeah, it was a great turnout there. Just got together, did some planning for this upcoming year, just to review strategic planning. Just so much got accomplished that weekend. It just shows how much we've grown over these last few years to have so many people willing to come out and not just help with the trail work part of it, but the administrative side. It's a lot of work to do in the background, not just trail work. So to have all that people come out there and help take the load off a lot of the people out there now, I mean, it was great to see. So definitely a lot going on this coming year.
Yeah, we'll just throw some statistics at you real quick, y'all. That retreat yielded about 350 hours of planning, basically think taking and discussing, working all the way through things. Upcoming events we're going to have. We're going to add a new annual event called the Bear Crawl down in Section 3. Looking forward to a beautiful 25 for sure. But again, the commitment from all those volunteers that were able to come, contribute, wanted to contribute, right? As well as like your mapping, we had a bunch of breakout sessions and workshops within it, but your mapping, I thought really shed a lot of light on things for some of our other volunteers too. And what we can expect for work days moving forward and efficiency. Again, I thank everybody for coming out and know that that's part of growth. I mean, not every single growing pain is easy, but at the same time, we can work through things. So it was great to see that teamwork come together and present some options for the board moving forward. Very dedicated there. So we get through that event and then we turn around and we had another big work event. And so shout out again, volunteers. We put the word out. Next thing you know, I think this happened within a week or so. All kinds of people coming out, doing trail work. Again, those volunteers are amazing. And so I'm going to run a stat off now to y'all. West Virginia Scenic Trail Association, the Allegheny Trail. We've got some very special volunteers, many other trails, other nonprofits, make no mistake. But for those of you that do not know, there's an equation out there. There's a volunteer hour value. So what we do is we take our volunteer hours, which we had this year. Justin, you want to repeat those again, or do you have them handy? If not, I do.
I don't have it with me.
But here's the thing, y'all. From the first of the year through December 1st, whatever it was there today, we had 5,628 volunteer hours. So you go on a couple different websites, and what happens when you're writing grants, you hear about the match, you hear about this, that, and the other. The West Virginia, as of today, the West Virginia standard is $28.17. So let's just do the math real quick and multiply, let me say it again, 5,628 volunteer hours times the value of $28.17. That equates to $158,540.76. That's astounding. I mean, we're a small nonprofit, you know what I mean? That's a fantastic amount of hours that reflects what the commitment looks like from our volunteers. And we're gaining more. The fact of the matter is we're getting people from other states really interested, really talking about our trail. We want to come help. People come hike it. They give donations. Our tool inventory is growing. Our outreach and promotion is growing. These are all fantastic things. And again, none of this would be possible without the volunteers. So for those that want to come hike, please know that it's a special, special group of people here. And Justin, I'll let you say a few words. I know you get to work with a lot of different volunteers and all the things you do.
Yeah, we do have a great group of volunteers here. They're it's not just on the tread work side, but I mean, for hikers coming, all you have to do is just ask on Facebook, email info@wscenictrails.org, and we'll help you out. We've got a whole community that's willing to show up, do whatever they can. They'll bend over backwards a lot, because I mean, on my hike through here, I had 12 or 13 people who supported me through this whole hike. I definitely couldn't have done a winter hike like with the weather without any support. I could barely stay out there more than a night or two with all the temperatures, snow. So you'll definitely have plenty of assistance out there. So definitely feel free to reach out. We can schedule a call, help you get on track with planning your hikes. So feel free to reach out anytime.
Yep, absolutely. Justin, I know we've probably helped just a complimentary, right? Half-hour call. If it needs to be longer, we can. But I know Justin and I have helped probably, I'm going to throw a number out, and it's probably lowballing it, 12, 13 people this year call, just say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Again, on the back end, we're working on all the infrastructure off trail. So the resupplies, partnerships in towns. I've been talking to several mayors this week alone. I can say that, which is exciting about planning for next year. And just a great group of people who get the outdoors, respect it, want to have the commitment and the passion and exude that to this organization moving forward. So please know that this isn't just a one-time thing in 2024. We're going to carry this forward strongly into 2025 as well. And a couple other things, we'll throw out there. We've got lots of new things for 2025 lined up. Not everything we can speak about right now, though. Check our Facebook, check our Instagrams. We got a newsletter you can sign up with, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, you can reach out to any of us, like Justin said, and the coordinators, anybody's here willing to help you. We want you to come have a safe hike. We highly recommend not doing it when Justin did it. Wait till the weather warms up. Frank, I see you, baby. I see you. You're going to finish no matter what the weather is next week. I see you in the chat. Congrats. And, you're working hard out there. We respect that. But for most hikers, we also recommend, a season of safety. So that looks like maybe November, not hiking mid-November to maybe mid-March or so. But we're also, spoiler alert, we're going to be updating the website over the winter. We got some great new pictures, some wonderful things to add to that. That's another volunteer here named Justin, who's a jack of all trades here, does it all. We're going to be collaborating to do some really cool updates on that as well. So, Justin, I'm going to let you chat for a minute. Any thoughts you have before we close this out?
It's been a great year. I can't believe that. This year's went by quick. There's been so much going on this year, and it doesn't show any sign of slowing down. Just the stuff I have that I'd like to do over the winter with updating trail amenities, get a nice navigation for the website. If somebody's coming from out of state, they want to fly in, they have as much detail of how to get to the trail as possible. So there's a lot that's going to be changing over this winter. So just keep looking forward to it. And I hope everybody has a great winter and Christmas and enjoy. This is going to be great next year.
And let us not forget all the people behind the scenes that do everything. So I won't name any last names, but Mike and Steve, and my goodness, these guys spend so much time helping, with the newsletter, with the website, with all these things behind the scenes, the planning. There's so many people to thank out there, really all. Just a huge thank you to the volunteers. Probably is appropriate, but I'll just say isn't enough, right? So we love everybody out there. We love all the hikers coming through. Just a couple more stats I'll throw out before we take off, y'all. We had 55 different hikers sign up and report back to us about opportunities for improvement. There were opportunities of improvement on that, as well as opportunities of gratitude. So hearing what hikers are saying is also something we want to start conveying to future hikers. For those of you that are currently hiking or looking at hiking, that hiker registration form, the completion form, we really value those. We appreciate you taking the time to complete those and give us feedback. So for those of you that want to keep up with everything, run over to the website, hikethealleghenytrail.org, sign up for that newsletter. And let me tell you, there's some very exciting, I'll just say very exciting things. I'm not really good at keeping myself contained with enthusiasm, but I do have to keep quiet right now. Again, none of this would be possible without Julie. And so thankful for her, the relationship. And so here's what I'm about to do, y'all. I'm going to take this beautiful can I've been hanging on to, and I'm going to crack this baby open. Yay, it didn't explode. But I'm going to toast to everybody out there. Appreciate you, love you. Come spend some time with us. Super happy holidays, super safe holidays. We look forward to connecting back with you in 25 and hearing some great stories about your adventures coming our way, being a support system for you. And again, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Super safe. Thank you, everybody, for 12 episodes, 12 fabulous months. We'll talk to you later.